Hey guys, Moose here. We are back with more Minecraft, joined by Karen
Hi.
and Eric.
Hello.
And now it's time for Karen to finally find her spine and tell us what her favorite game of all time is, since she seemed unwilling to discuss it previously. Needed more time.
Well, the reason why I'm kind of hesitant is because I don't really have a favorite game.
You got
Like
something.
like there are games that I like more than others, but like for me when I say favorite, it means like that's the be all end all kind of game, and I haven't really found it yet.
Well, you're not going to marry it and spend the rest of your life
Well,
with it. Just pick something.
well, obviously, but like what I was trying to say is that I like a bunch of games, so but this will probably sound cliche. I'll probably just divide it into like stuff that I like in terms of categories. Um, in terms of, I guess, like puzzles, like the game that made me you know, wanna bash my head against a wall kind of thing, and made me think was Wild Arms 1. And to this day, that game is so special to my heart. A lot of people don't like that game because they think that the puzzles are kind of too tough. But, like in today's kind of like gaming standards, you don't really find that kind of like style of games anymore. Because
What
a
the
lot
hell
of
is
them,
this? Wild Arms 1?
yeah,
You ever heard of this, Eric?
it's a
Nope.
classic.
Let me see. I mean, I might recognize it, but I don't recognize the name immediately.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised. It's one of the classic PSX or PS1 games that got remade in PS2,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, time out. Wild Arms, as
Yeah.
in what, like the first Wild Arms game. I thought the game was Wild Arms 1, as in
Oh,
like some.
sorry, sorry.
Yeah, she did say
Well,
No,
Wild Arms 1.
well,
I
cause
understand. I got
sorry.
you.
Well,
I,
cause like there are like Wall Arms 2, 3,
yeah,
so
but this isn't. They weren't making Xboxes at that point. We didn't resort to calling things at 1. And
oh,
Xbox One isn't the first one either.
oh, it's well, I I just call it the way I call like Final Fantasy. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's all good. I just misunderstood, is all.
Yeah, but did you guys play it then, or
Well, I mean,
no?
you
Uh,
know my history. I never played it, and I don't even know what the hell this is, to be honest. The name rings a
Oh,
bell,
okay.
but I don't know what
uh,
it is. I bet
I
Eric has, though.
I feel like I've had to, but it's so. The only thing I can say is I may have rented it a long time ago at a video store for PlayStation
Dude,
because
freaking
I played a
Blockbuster.
lot of RPGs. Family Video over here, but
Well, you had a Blockbuster at some
not too
point, I'm
many
sure.
blockbusters.
Really? Weird.
Uh, not not in Michigan, not around where I was.
That is surprising. Untapped market there, that's why they went into business. Clearly. The only
Oh,
reason.
we had like local people, nothing like Blockbuster. We had a few. Anywho, I'm digressing. Karen, please continue.
Oh, well, that franchise is known for, like really heavy puzzle RPG games. So in every dungeon you enter, there's like a bunch of things you have to solve. It's not just like, okay, you go from X to Y and like talk to people kind of thing. But obviously, like, while I enjoy that, I enjoy like thinking in a game. I don't think the whole gameplay kind of aged well because it's one of those, like if you walk, like random battles would cut in, and I
Pokemon.
don't. Yeah, like I kind of hate to say it, but I don't think I have that kind of patience anymore for that kind of thing. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's funny because I wasn't able to mention this, but what you're describing reminds me a lot of my favorite Japanese RPG with heavy puzzle elements, and that's Lufia 2.
Oh, right, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's if I mean I'm sure if you've played a lot of Wild Arms and are into the puzzles at this point, if you do want something a little bit lighter, so you know do just want to play a JRPG with some puzzle elements, so you're not pulling your hair out. Lufia 2, the puzzles stay pretty simple. There's a couple that might catch you, and there's one that's hidden in the game that's pretty obscenely insane. But that's for like a super crazy hidden ultimate item that you can't get otherwise.
Oh.
Which means you have to do it, otherwise you're a scrub.
Yeah, but like that, franchise died sadly. So
Who made that?
I forgot.
Eric, do you know?
I have a page open. Let me check.
But I love the music though. Like to this day, the opening, like music for the first game. Like,
Media Vision are the
oh,
developers.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know.
totally
what the-
lost my corpse. There's a whole bunch more iron out of the just gone, or not
Oh,
iron, stone. Whatever, we'll deal with it.
that sucks.
I
We
found a
can
fortress
gather a
though.
bunch of stones. if
No,
you
it's
want.
cool. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm just exploring until I get myself killed again. But
Oh,
for it.
sorry, I just wanted to mention real quick that Wild Arms was actually the third game they ever made under that name,
Oh, never
and
mind.
the first one to reach the States.
Oh. Well, the one that came out,
Right,
in
yeah.
America then.
Yeah, well, they had a game called, according to the Wikipedia page, a game called Crime Crackers for
Gotcha.
Japan only. Rapid Reload for Japan and the PAL regions, and then Wild Arms, and then Crime Crackers 2, because apparently that did well in Japan, and then Wild Arms 2, which didn't get to see a European release. Sorry, guys.
No
Was there a
problem.
Wild Arms 3? I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
Yes.
I played that one, but didn't really enjoy it. I think the only Wild Arms that I enjoyed was really one. Because the characters were really, were interesting.
So this was an RPG.
Yeah, it's RPG puzzle game.
Weird. They don't really
I
make those anymore, do they?
Yeah, that's kind of why, I brought it up because a lot of RPGs nowadays are just, you go to X and Y or X to Y, kill a bunch of like mobs or, bosses, and that's pretty much it. You move on to the story.
I found Netherwart finally.
Oh, nice. Kick ass. That's gonna be perfect for the alchemist shop.
Why don't you
Ooh.
bring up a? Let's just notepad this. Get the coordinates before I lose them.
Oh,
Do you mind pulling it up, Eric? Because there's no way in
Yep,
hell
got
I'm
it.
getting out of here alive. Negative 73. Let's call it 68, 157. You got it?
Yeah, let me read that back right quick. X negative 73, Y 68, Z 157.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right, cool. Sorry for the delay there. I'm gonna jump off a cliff and kill myself. There we go. I had nothing.
That's suicide.
All right. Yeah, so if you didn't see it in the last episode, my name is different because some Russian prick fished Mojang or whatever and stole my account. I don't think anything else has been compromised, but I can't change my name back because of a stupid limitation. They only let you change your name once every 30 days, which is real good when someone steals your shit and changes it before you can change it back.
I guess you're gamer alpha.
Yeah. No,
That's so funny.
I'm running out of, well, no, I'll keep my mouth shut. But I'm really
Should
not a
be
fan of
gamer
Russia
beta.
right now. Really not a fan of Russia. Anyway, so that's one. You said more?
Yeah, I also like Earthbound.
Yeah, good pick. I don't know shit
Yeah,
about Wild Arms,
because of
but I
the
know
humor.
Earthbound. Yeah.
Yeah, like because of the humor. I like that it didn't take itself too seriously in terms of like dialogues and stuff. So I had a good time. But it's another one of those games that I love, but at the same time I couldn't really get into the gameplay.
It was a really good game.
Yeah.
How could you not get into the gameplay? It's a like cut and really good RPG.
I'll be honest. I've tried to get into Earthbound, and I do love the charm.
Yeah.
But as far as the gameplay has aged pretty poorly, to be honest.
Yeah.
What didn't you
That's
like
the-
about it? I usually don't tolerate old stuff that's poorly designed very well, but Earthbound was great for me.
I feel like the battle system is too fundamental and sluggish. Like
I
it,
felt the same way.
Well, it's an old
plus it's
RPG.
plus it's kind of archaic. The interface reminded me more of like Tecmo's Legend of the Seven Stars, which is like the budgetiest budget RPGs of all time. So, like, basically, when you don't even again, I grew up with Lufia 2, so I got to see like I saw the backs of my characters and I saw their animations and these amazing spell animations. This Lufia 2 probably came out around the same time as Final Fantasy 4 or 5. So, as far as graphics, it was kind of insane to see as a kid growing up playing Super Mario World and then jumping into that. So then when I went on to play Earthbound, which everyone said was the greatest thing ever, and oh my god, Nintendo needs to make port everything, I was like, oh, this is cute. I just killed a dog. 10 out of 10.
I don't know. I guess I don't understand. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the battle system personally, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not as into different RPGs. I never played any of the Lufias, never played any of the Fantasy Stars except the online 2, which was really fun. I've never talked about that before, but I don't know. It worked for me, so I don't know what to say.
Like for me, like it's not because I don't like turn-based or anything like that. Like a lot of people would say, oh, turn-based isn't like acceptable in like today's gaming standards. But I'm like, I'm okay with it. But like not in the same way that Earthbound did, and to some extent the way Pokemon does turn-based. Like I prefer like more of an ATB kind of thing.
Hmm.
But
Right.
I don't see it
Well,
making too much difference, personally.
I like as far as stats, I feel like the way ATBs are handled, I'm not crazy in love with them personally.
I understand.
I've always loved the idea of each character having their basic stats, and then you get stuff to play around with them and things like that. Lufia is pretty basic, but I always remember trying to max out speed because it was always like my weakest. I wanted my healer to always go first.
Yep.
So, it's tough to do with depending on. Well, I don't know. I guess Final Fantasy VIII did. Okay, whatever. ATB is gonna pass.
That kind of is
Not,
the
Sorry,
maxing speed in RPG seems like the default correct choice, thinking back.
Yeah, I always choose speed in everything. Like that's actually funny.
I'm mainly thinking about Disgaea, where basically you'd basically level something up, or no, it was Final Fantasy Tactics as well, or Advance anyway. You'd always want to level them up as a ninja or whatever, so they'd get more speed per level, and then you switch them to whatever you want at the end, once they're capped or whatever. Seems to be the go-to option. Oh, that's a nice view.
Wait, sorry. Was the whole killing the dog comment like Earthbound, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that
actually
was
kill a dog in here? Okay, because I wasn't sure if you're talking about Earthbound or like you killed your dog. I was gonna say you're
no,
savage.
it was definitely Earthbound. But I actually, before I forget, I wanted to mention that the people who made Wild Arms, you'll never believe what game they're coming out with in 2017.
Wait, they're making a new game?
They're not making a new Wild Arms. I'm sorry, I hyped that out wrong.
Oh no
They
no
are,
no.
however, making.
What was the developer
Um,
again? Let me guess.
Huh?
What was the developer? Like, what was their name?
Media
Media
Vision.
Vision.
God, they're still around. Yeah, I
The-
got nothing.
I don't
Their
even
newest
remember them.
game is the first Valkyria game since 2011.
Oh,
Did they make it or did they acquire the rights? I mean, is that their
Let me.
franchise or do they buy it? You know?
They made Valkyria Chronicles 3, but not 1 or 2.
Okay. And that wasn't the turn-based like World War II combat one that's on Steam. It's the RPG or
I don't
more
know.
RPG.
This third one on PSP looks like it's a tactical role-playing game, and it looks kind of like the same interface. So
Do they have
it
guns?
looks like it's Yosh.
Okay. I think I know what that is then. I'm surprised that's getting more stuff made for it, frankly.
I don't know. I feel like there's a bit of a demographic, especially since I know the first one did really well.
I guess I feel like it shouldn't have done really well. I don't know. I never played it. I just kind of passively think of it as not very good.
I've never played it either. I'm sorry.
Would it make you feel better if I told you Yasunori Mitsuda did the music for it?
Oh, really?
Not
Or
really.
Mitsuda.
I don't know.
I added an extra syllable there. Sorry.
That's fine.
But
We're not Japanese. Karen pretends she is sometimes, but
What?
don't worry about it. No, I don't know. When there's musicians that I really like that, I generally only like them within the context of the game that I learned about them in. Does that make
I
sense?
gotcha. Yeah, I kind of. I feel like Yasunori, not Yasunori Shiono. Damn it, I'm getting my names mixed up. I'll get back to that thought, but I've definitely heard that before, where I've heard music from a favorite composer and then be like, not nearly as, soul affirmingly amazing as
Yeah.
it was in this game that I spent hours of my life playing as a child. Who knew?
This slime is being a dick.
Oh, what do I need again? Oh, there you go. I was like trying to remember what I need to.
Karen needs a hoe?
Yeah, you should come here.
No, that's not how that works. Alright.
Well, the Russian hooker apparently thinks so.
Let's not go there.
Did you say hacker or hooker?
She said hacker, but I
Sorry.
was pretty sure it was hooker for the first couple seconds there.
Sorry, accent.
Well, it's funny you mentioned it because, like, I think something you said before that kind of alluded. I can't remember what you said. Damn it.
Something about
I'll
hose.
play it back. Yeah.
Well,
Karen, are you a pimp? Are you a she pimp and you just haven't told us?
where's my fedora?
Not sure they
And my
wear fedoras.
cigar.
Their hats are much larger.
I suddenly remembered the South Park episode with Butters, where he tried to be a pimp and then like he learned how to say, "Do you know what I'm
Do
saying?"
you know what I am saying?
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And like he kept repeating that, and it somehow cracked me up so bad
Yeah.
that
No, that one's a classic.
yeah. And my friends were like, "Shut up!" Because I kept
Ah,
laughing.
fuck.
Oh.
Alright, I can recover that. Just killing magma cubes. That was stupid of me. I'll get some food this time. Anyway, so that was, you only said 2 so far,
Oh,
Earthbound
sorry,
and
sorry.
Wild.
I kept derailing. What else? I probably should lump Final Fantasy 7 and 12 together.
Oh, freaking
Because they're
hipster.
well, because that's why I was kind of reluctant to say it. Because
Yeah.
because people
If
are
you
gonna
say 7, you open yourself up to a lot of shit, I think. Then
Wait,
again, I
that's
went
not-
with Chrono Trigger, so I don't know if I should talk.
Well, I mean, it's actually funny because like nowadays it's cool to hate 7 and then love 6, which I think is kind of silly.
I thought it was 9. 9's the big one lately that
Well,
I've seen.
nowadays I think, yeah. But like a lot of people would generally say, oh, like 6 is the best because like that's like the safest answer. I mean, not saying like the game is not good or anything. I think it's good. I just think like a lot of people would say that if they, don't want to get bashed.
No, I think 11 is the best Final Fantasy game.
I mean, that's valid. For
Not really.
reasons, probably.
It's not really I mean, it's a Final Fantasy game, but it's not really. All right, so those are pretty vanilla. You got anything else?
Well, I mean, like I was gonna explain the reason why I'm lumping them together. It's because yes, they're great in their own way, but I also have like issues with them. So, with 12, I really like how open world it felt like. I mean, that's kind of like my pet peeve with FFs these days. Like they
Linear,
kept saying,
linear corridors.
well, I mean, they kept saying that, oh, it's impossible for us to like make open worlds anymore because of so and so story reasons. But then, even with 7, where they had to run away, like I was able to go around town still, like outside of the area.
Isn't 15 gonna be pretty open world?
Well, yeah. But a lot of people are complaining about that whole statement about how like near the end it's gonna be linear. But I felt like that's okay because in like normally with FF games, like or at least with JRPGs, right? Like if you reach near the end of the game, like where the boss is gonna be, you're typically locked into like linear like corridors and fights.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll expand on that sometime, but I make sure I remember. Final Fantasy VIII actually did that really well. I find. And
You can talk about it now if you want to.
Well, it's just that in 8, it was technically linear. They pretty much forced you into one spot at the spoiler alerts, by the way. In the end of the game, you're forced into one area, but it's this huge castle that you have to explore and do some puzzle solving to get some extra stuff if you want. So I feel like while it's excusable, and I definitely agree, like a linear ending or a linear end area makes sense because it's like, they don't want you going to play triple triad while the big bad is about to destroy the world.
Yeah.
You can't break that immersion.
I think like the hardcore part about it, like I still remember with 7, where like the farthest save point that you can make is like near the entrance. So that was scary if you like fail and you have to kind of like start over from like the entrance.
Yeah.
But
single player FS never really did it for me.
Well, I mean, I think you like 12.
Yeah, we'll see. I am probably going to wind up playing that in an LP with Karen backseating and being pissed off about everything I do.
No, because okay, so aside from the open world stuff, I also like the fact that I could be anything, at least with the original one. I mean, you can still do it with the international or the Zodiac version, but like I'm just speaking from my experience with the original 12, where I wasn't stuck into one role. Like I could be a healer, I could be, like a sword master or something like that. Like I could use whatever weapon I wanted and be whatever I wanted. And I thought that was really neat. Because then like I could play like my female characters and like just dump all the dudes. I'm sorry, Voltier, I like you, but yeah.
I'm never going to understand that.
Voltier is...
No, that's not the part that I'm not going to understand.
Oh.
Don't worry
well,
about
I
it.
mean, yeah. Because I, I just like controlling female characters. Sorry.
All
well,
right,
except
I won't
for...
question it.
Well, except for some male characters.
That are
But
feminine.
I agree. I'm with you there, Karen. I think there's a playstyle implication because I play with all ladies too, especially like that's how I beat Final Fantasy 13.
oh, actually,
I think.
who
Oh,
did you
sorry.
pick
Go
for
ahead.
13?
I think I had Lightning, Vanille, and Fang. Maybe.
Oh, for me, I bench Lightning because I wasn't really fond of her. I had Fang, Vanille, and Hope. Hope was the one, or was the one I controlled the most because like him and Vanille. I'm sorry, but Fang was my
Wasn't
favorite character
Hope
though. So
Hope was the little pussy boy?
that didn't translate well in English. Yes.
And also
Yeah.
pulled boomerangs out of his butt.
Did he really?
Well, I mean, like the fishing pole came out of like Vanille's butt too. But like playing, but Vanille was kind of awkward in a way, like playing, or when you play as her, she would moan a lot, and that was really awkward.
They knew what they were doing.
You don't say.
Oh God. But
I
yeah.
want to see live footage of her voice actress in the booth trying to lay down those tracks.
You sure they didn't just
Oh
take it from
Lord.
some porno? Just, pay the royalty fee, tell them to keep their mouth shut, and then just take a clip.
No, but I think they did leak those voice clips to make a porno later.
Oh God.
Those are actually, it used to be one of my favorite things to look to see on like online in random places, was when they took audio from a game and they just rearrange it to make it sound like, something like that. So it was very amusing. But I think with that, this is a good time to end this episode. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join us for the next one as well. Take care.